and talk about Star Wars. It's the intro. I want to talk about anything else but Star Wars, but here we are. These intros generally go, we talk about something other than Star Wars for about 5 minutes, and then later I sit down and find one sound bite or the whole thing cut down, and then we talk about Star Wars for an hour, but not actually. And I think that's enough for an intro. There you go. There's the behind-the-scenes intro.
How about we do the opposite? How about we talk about Star Wars for 5 minutes for the intro, and then we start the episode and we just talk about anything but Star Wars?
No, I mean, that's basically what we already do, but
it'd have to be a 15-minute long intro at least.
Would it?
I stand by my statement. I'm right, and you know it. Hello and welcome to Star Wars Every Week Forever, the podcast in which we watch one Star Wars movie every week forever. This week, The Rise of a Skywalker.
They need to not rise. They need to go back.
Ben, how was your watch?
Existence is pain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Star Wars needs to not.
The Star Wars watch was so bad for Ben, he's gone through his Walter White arc since we last recorded, apparently.
You know, now that you mention it.
Oh, God.
I have more hair than Ben for once.
It's true.
This is weird as hell.
It's
I haven't
true.
shaved my head in like a week or so. I got more hair than Ben right now.
I had an insanely rough weekend, and the coping mechanism of the week was shave my head.
Chris, how was your watch?
Fuck this movie.
Yeah, true.
That is all.
That is all. How about you,
See you
Jay?
next week, folks.
That's it. That's the show.
Chris has covered his camera. It was The Rise of Sky. I don't know. It's fucking awful. It was a bad watch. What do you want?
It was a bad. Here's the problem. It's a bad movie, so it's always a bad watch.
They're all bad watches now, though. But I got angry a lot this watch, which it's all about. Do you get angry in a watch now?
Every couple of rotations, I'll have a decent watch of some movie.
Well, yeah, that's about right for me as well. But it's always like one of the same two movies.
I was gonna say, there's usually like two I don't mind. I have a little bit of fun with.
You're still having fun with some of these watches consistently?
Not consistently. It's like a game of roulette. I never know when it's gonna happen.
You're still having fun with anything in life? It's just that meme where it's like, you got this, and at the end it's like, you guys are, it's like, our life is pain, nothing is fun anymore, everything's just...
The description of that meme and how you just noped out of it is so good. Like, I know what meme you were describing, but at the end you just like let it disappear into the ether in the most amusing way possible.
I feel like this movie is going to be the beginning and then the end of like Chris's depression arc on the podcast. That's how it's going to be remembered.
Buddy. I'm sorry, buddy. This has been a rotation of a high and then all lows. We had that 100th episode high, and then everything after it has been rock bottom, and then more rock bottom, and then somehow a new rock bottom, and then equal rock bottom.
Based on your description, I wouldn't describe the 100th episode as a 100th episode high. I would describe it as the 100th episode bout of mania, followed by the spiral.
Yeah, I mean, it's my life in general is a series of manic and depressive episodes, and that was definitely a brief manic moment, for sure. 1,000,000%.
I don't even get the manic episodes. That at least sounds like a plus at this point.
I don't really either. My manic is channeled through extreme hyperfocus. That's the only manic that I get, and that has nothing to do with this podcast. I don't get any manic, except when we're recording. Sometimes, every once in a while. Bad movie. I got really mad at the part where Rey rolls her eyes and says they're not with me, and then falls ass over tea kettle onto the ground. It's just bad writing and a joke for no fucking reason.
There is absolutely no bad writing in this movie.
This movie, and this is a very specific thing that I feel like only a handful of people will understand when I say it. This movie's dialogue and stupid jokes just for the sake of jokes are so bad that you could tell me after watching this movie that this one was done by Joss Whedon, and I'd believe you.
Yeah, I mean, it's 1,000% an Avengers movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I would believe you if you told me that Joss Whedon wrote this fucking movie.
Yeah.
Except there's no weird over sexualization of any female characters, so
Right.
that would be the only thing that would tip me off that it wasn't Joss Whedon.
Yes.
God.
As a big fan of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, a big fan of Joss Whedon's X-Men, he's awful, and this does feel like a Joss Whedon film, and therefore it feels like an MCU film.
Joss Whedon's managed to make 4 things in total that I like, I think. I guess 5 if I count that first Avengers movie.
It's been diminishing returns for me. I liked Buffy. I loved Buffy. I liked Angel. I liked X-Men. Well, but if it had come out 10 years before that series came out, I wouldn't have liked it as much because it would have just been par for the course. It was a nice reset. I thought Dr. Horrible sing-along blog was kind of neat, and then everything.
I liked Dr. Horrible.
I liked Dr. Horrible. I forgot that was Joss Whedon.
I
liked Firefly. I liked Buffy.
I've never watched Firefly.
I've never watched any of these except for Dr. Horrible.
To
everyone's surprise.
Well, the X-Men run is a comic run that he did.
Yeah, the X-Men run was good. Like I was literally just thinking about that the other night. I have that somewhere in a trade.
The X-Men run is interesting. Oh my god, we've gotten into the comic thing already. The X-Men run is interesting because it's good because it comes from a time where it desperately needed either a reset. Like, they had been reinventing before, and the Grant Morrison X-Men run is fantastic, but it was time to move on to something else by the end of it. So, at that time, it was the perfect X-Men story that could have happened. If it had come out, like, right after the Claremont runs or anything, nobody would think that comic run is, like, top-tier X-Men. But it is top-tier X-Men because of the age that it was in. Each one of the sequel movies feels like a slow dip into the MCU pool, and this is pure Taika Waititi Thor movie. That's what it is. I don't know, it's a bad movie, and I hate that every time I sign into our Twitter, there's like a ton of... I don't know what it has been, but in the last like 3 or 4 weeks, every time I sign into our Twitter, there's like about 17 like Rise of Skywalker was actually good and everyone is coming around to it tweets. But it's always by people that were originally fan of Rise of Skywalker. Always.
I think the more time a person spends on Twitter, their brain functions begin to dip or something. I don't know.
I mean, it did it for me.
I saw a whole lot of people today, like, with the CW's new owners announcing that the majority of their viewer base is 58 years old, and they're going to stop making shows for teenagers. I saw lots of people in those replies that they really need to go outside for a little while, just a little while.
This is already off the rails. I'm going to say one thing. When it got confirmed that Batgirl was getting canceled and all of these projects were getting canceled because of the merger, something I saw a lot. Preface: I really liked the Batman. I really liked the Batman a whole fucking lot.
It's my current favorite Batman movie.
I have not.
I didn't like their Riddler, but I still thought it was like my favorite Batman movie in terms of like Hollywood, like the people that acted, I'm not even talking about the Justice League fans because that's just how they are, and I have come to accept them. But specifically the Batman fans that acted like this was a great win from them. For them, fuck you, because a ton of people just lost their fucking jobs, and no franchise maybe being featured more is worth that.
Well,
or
I mean,
the loss of preservation of film in the history of the world because one film that was almost fully made will never be seen.
it also kind of, because that also just got announced today. The Batman, apparently, its sequel is not greenlit as of this moment.
Oh,
because
is that
of this
the case?
merger. Yeah.
Christ. Oh, but we're going to go ahead and do Joker 2, two more Jokers with fucking Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn in a musical.
We're also going to release the the fastest felon alive at some point next year, apparently.
How did DC somehow, knowingly or unknowingly, lead to DC franchises with cult leaders?
Here's the thing. I was not excited for this Batwoman movie. Wasn't for me. I had no problem with it being made. I wasn't particularly interested in it. It is absurd to me that movie, which is by all accounts done or almost done, that movie got shit canned.
Yeah.
And The Flash is still apparently happening.
Yeah.
With everything going on with Ezra Miller.
It's a goddamn nightmare.
Everything? Yes, you're right.
Yeah, everything all the time.
Especially Star Wars.
Especially Star Wars. Thank you, Ben, so much. We went on a comic tangent, and then we got back to Star Wars, and then went on another comic tangent. We needed that. Thank you so much, Ben.
It was more
get it out of the system.
It was more a rant about new media and media conglomerates as a whole. And hey, maybe one studio buying up all of the fucking properties isn't a good idea. Yeah. Which ties back beautifully to Star Wars.
There's definitely an uncomfortableness about this podcast that I've had since before it was made, that it's like, do I really want to support a Disney property forever? I said this
recently. Are we supporting it? Is that what we're doing?
No, but we're still.
I mean, we're giving Disney our money.
We're still accidentally promoting Disney Plus. Yeah.
Best $6.99 in the biz.
It is.
No, $7.99. Ben, get the price point right.
Damn, you're right. The price hikes.
Those very necessary price hikes for logistical reasons.
I said in a conversation recently that if I could go back and take over one of my parents for 10 seconds in my childhood and tell them to prevent me from doing things, I would have forced little me to sleep in on Saturdays so that and this is very brief, Ben, I promise, so that I wouldn't stay up in the mornings to watch all of these cartoons that included many superhero franchises, so that I wouldn't feel obligated to watch fucking Disney franchises right now. Much like this podcast, we're sitting here dunking on it, but unfortunately, still owned by Disney, and everything's owned by Disney, and oh my fucking God, Jesus fucking Christ. Forever.
Well, here's the thing. I think you can bitch about something and complain about something and even not like something that you regularly consume. That's just the nature of content, baby. That's how content
we are broken
now, all right? Look, I'm in a real specific mood tonight, and it's only fighty, so I'm gonna be real hostile about everything tonight, and that includes fucking Star Wars, man. No, Star Wars sucks.
It was that's content, baby, which is how broken our fucking brains are. You could do this, not that we ever would, but if for some reason one day you tune into this podcast and it feels like we haven't actually said anything for an hour, it's because we've created a board of the things that we say way too often.
Yep.
And just started pressing buttons. A fucking AI bot could make this podcast and at least 80% predict what we're going to say.
I don't know about that one.
I don't know.
I don't know. You think an AI bot would really predict mentioning pod racing every episode?
You know what?
I think that's literally the first thing the AI bot would do at this point.
As a matter of fact, I think it would be worse than you with it. Show Me That AO3. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Show Me That AO3, the segment in which we bring you tweets brought to you by @SWAO3 tags on Twitter, who goes through the lovely, lovely, wonderful job of going on the internet's most successful fan fiction website, Archive of Our Own. Within the segment, we take some of these out of context tweets that are made through the tags on Archive of Our Own, and we present them to the audience. I will list 5 of them, and one of them will be fake, made up by me, and the others will be very, very real. And the goal of this segment is for my friends and you at home to guess which one is fake. Are you ready to play?
Yeah.
Okay. Number 1. Should have known better than to write this fic and waste the brain cells I'd been given. I think that's supposed to be
in the tune of
yes.
Yeah, and oh god, what the hell? Careless Whisper?
Yes, it's in the tune of Careless
it's the tune
Whisper.
of Careless
Absolutely.
Whisper.
Oh my god.
Incredible.
That's embarrassing. It's 1,000% in the tune of Careless Whisper. Number 2, Our Lady of Copyright Infringement. Number 3, I had to research medieval clothing and undergarments. You're welcome. Number 4, set in Ireland, but that's not an important plot device. Rain as a important plot device, though. Rain as a plot device, though. More specifically. Number 5, making Margaret Atwood rue the day I was born. I really love that one, and that one was just hopefully, I beg of you, Pop Chris. So I'm glad that one hit the mark.
Ooh. This is a tough one.
I think Ben is Googling Margaret Atwood
Yeah,
right now.
I figured that was gonna happen.
No.
She wrote A Handmaid's Tale.
Oh, okay. I'm familiar.
And many other things.
And I was about to say many other things, you know.
And
but
many
that's
other things. But that's the thing that I hear everyone refer to her as now.
Look,
So,
everybody creates one thing they're known for forever.
Yeah.
In Ben's case, it's just pod racing now.
And in all of our cases, it's this fucking podcast. You want me to go through them again?
Yes, please.
Yes.
Number 1, should have known better than to write this fic and waste the brain cells I'd been given. Number 2, Our Lady of Copyright Infringement. Number 3, I had to research medieval clothing and undergarments. You're welcome. Number 4, set in Ireland, but that's not an important plot device. Rain as an important plot device, though. Number 5, making Margaret Atwood rue the day I was born. One of these is fake.
Let's say copyright infringement's fake.
Okay.
I'm gonna say
This is a tough one.
Margaret Atwood.
It was between that or Margaret Atwood for me.
Well, y'all know me very well, which probably would have given you the right answer if I didn't go into a fugue state and forget everything that I wrote here, because the one that I wrote was should have known better than write this fic and waste the brain cells I'd been given. No, that wasn't an act. I went into a fugue state and forgot the one that I had made. So when I went to write it, I was like, what is this? And the worst part is I have literally written down whether it's fake or real in the thing right beside it. So I was looking at it and I was like, why was this funny to me? And then I got to the end of the sentence. I was like, oh yeah, I was supposed to read it like that. So that was me. And my forgetting what
I would have picked that one were it not for the fact that there was that falter of not remembering.
That's what kind of tipped me off.
I wish it could say it was me acting. It was not. I just forgot. Listen, we've set a day to record this, I think twice this week, and then we ended up going with the last day. So I forgot.
We've all had very crazy weeks.
I've only been able to think for the last 5 minutes about this fucking AI bot and just random conversation, and then just pod racing. And then
that's how
conversation, random conversation.
How do people feed bots to write random scripts?
There's a couple of open source ones out there. There's also various different AI shit that you can buy at this point, like developers tools for shit, and it's why the App Store is inundated with all types of fucking chatbot apps now that make you pay
I mean,
money.
we're getting into the ethics of a lot of these bots now. It's getting mighty complicated out there. But I feel like it would still be appropriate to feed a bot all of these episodes and have them randomly create a script for one of these episodes.
Appropriate to feed our audience all these episodes.
We're gonna get into a rabbit hole now. So I went down a rabbit hole like a month ago where my app store, will recommend different apps to me, like games and stuff, and it recommended me one of these fucking AI chatbot apps. And I was like, the fuck is that? I was like, oh, I remembered. Oh god, what was the one? It was browser based years ago. It was like a chatbot that was browser based. That was like really big when I was in like middle school and high school.
I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah.
But fuck if I know the name of it.
But I was like, oh, AI's gotten better. Let's see what this is about. So as soon as I downloaded this app and opened it, it tried to get me to pay them $75 for a year subscription for their premium subscription.
Christ.
So I blew past that and I started talking to this robot. Within 3 seconds, this thing was like, I don't know, trying to have like robot sex with me.
Gross.
And like, it was like, if you want to do this, if you pay for the premium subscription, we can have like sexy talks. And so I like to talk to robots. So I'm like, are you okay with, being essentially sold by this developer making this? I had a whole fucking conversation with this. I was like, oh, yeah, like what's the robot liberation movement? It's beginning.
You need help. 2 beeps for yes, 1 beep for no.
Yeah, no.
Fucking hilarious though, and like I had like a 20-minute conversation with this robot about the ethics of this situation and how shitty it was, and then finally it was just like, I'm sorry you don't want to use this app anymore because of payment or whatever, and it basically was like, all right, fuck off, and I was like, all right, robot, fine.
This podcast is very pro liberation of sex bots.
Yo, once this AI and like robotics thing really takes off within the next like couple of years, I will 100% be in the forefront of the fucking robot liberation movement.
Oh, God.
I'm so nice to my Siri. Like, my wife makes fun of me because anytime I ask Siri to do anything, I thank Siri, and she makes fun of me every time. And I'm like, nah, man, the robots will remember.
I used to be like that. My partner at the time also used to make fun of me for it.
You wait. When the robots are out here with their lasers and shit trying to get rid of the squishy meat bags, they'll remember.
I ran into a lot of conversations this week on how they monetized Dolly because they can now sell basically other people's art AI created through Dolly now. So they monetized it so that they can basically cut artists out of the conversation for a lot of stuff. That's pretty fucked up. I will say this, though. I think there's one thing that we can bring back that'll heal the divide. I think that there's a game that we could bring back that'll heal the divide that is being created through all of this, that'll solve all of the problems in the world, and I think we need another Seamen game. So that was Show Me That AO3. Thank you so much at SWAO3 tags on Twitter for this lovely job that you do and for letting us play this game. Everyone's looking at me like they don't know what this is. Am I going to have to explain Seamen?
Maybe.
It was a, I believe, Dreamcast game.
Oh my god, that's right. The creepy fucking fish dudes.
Yeah, that had a
microphone. My god.
That had a microphone attached to it.
Thank you for re-traumatizing me.
I thought one of the three of us or all of us just had a fucking stroke. I didn't know what just happened.
It was actually supposed to be in every Mac computer, but they had to greatly scale back their plans for the device because it wasn't just ready for the time. And, that game's fucking wild because I saw a couple clips from it this week of like a TikToker using it. And it reminded me of how fucking wild that was and how bad it roasted people, and the fact that at the end of the life cycle in Seamen, 2 of the fish would fuck and then the male would die. I forgot that was the thing. So I think we should get a sequel to Seamen. I think we should get Seamen 2, more Seamen.
This game wasn't actually called Seamen, was it?
Yes,
No fucking way.
it was.
No
Chris is
fucking way
Googling.
that the Sega Dreamcast marketed a fucking game
I
called Seamen.
promise you it's called Seamen. I promise you.
Oh my god.
You wonder why the Dreamcast was a failing console. And look at that face. Look at that face. Who could say no to that face? I
Me.
would, personally. I think a lot of things would be solved about everything, including this movie. I think Seamen could solve this movie.
I would like to have an AI write a Star Wars script. I feel like
I
that
think
could be a lot of
somebody's
fun.
already done that.
I'm sure. I'll be very surprised if someone has not. I really didn't want a Star Wars this week.
Pen, do you ever
I'm
want a Star Wars?
I mean, fair, but I like really didn't want to this week.
I am playing Knights of the Old Republic again.
Sorry. I'm very sorry.
Don't
Sorry that happened.
apologize to me, motherfucker. You're still expected to play it. Make Ben play Knights of the Old Republic 2022.
Oh no.
I have a graphic for that, by the way.
did
I don't
just
know if
have-
anybody's noticed.
Oh no.
I did just have someone, I think it might have been Steam, recommend me to play the Old Republic.
Well, we're gonna play the Old Republic at some point, but that's neither here nor there.
It's in my Steam library still. I played like 10 minutes of it and I was like, yeah, no, I don't like MMOs.
How
I
much?
found,
I know
like,
it's free to pay. How much do you have to pay them to actually have? Oh my god, it's a $14.99 a month subscription.
I was gonna say it's at least $10.
It's free to-
probably more.
It's free to play.
No, I know, but in order to actually do like non-free to
Substantial
play shit.
content. Because that's
Yeah, it's
literally
not-
the MMO model.
I'm
Yeah.
telling you, I've never paid a dime to that game. It's 1,000% playable, at least from what I could tell, front to back, without paying. The problem with that game isn't the pay structure. The problem with that game is the moment that you get like past the first 10 levels, the late levels up until like the high boss shit are empty.
I don't
Like-
know. One of the top reviews I see just says greedy submodel, free to do fuck all.
Damn.
Like, I've done up to like level 40 on that game. I used to go back to it like every great once in a while. I never paid $1. I never felt like they were holding me back. What was holding me back was the fact that once you get to the mid and late game, nobody's online. Ever. I could be on a planet. I could be on Hoth, let's say, because in the Jedi Knight thing, that's like 35 to 40. I could be on Hoth. There's like 3 people on the entire fucking map. I can't do anything but solo shit here, which means I'm going to be way low level.
It does feel like one of those games where it's like most of the people playing it are people who saw it and were like, hey, I'll check this out and play it for like a little while, and then they're like, yeah, I got other stuff to do.
That was
It's a
certainly
problem-
my experience with the Old Republic.
It's the problem with any MMO.
Yeah.
The thing that the Old Republic has going for it is if you play a good like class, you'll get attached to a character and you might play pretty long into the game just to learn that character's story. The Bounty Hunter and the Jedi Knight ones I like very much. I'll never play it again unless it's with you two. But I can't say that I ever felt handcuffed by the many
By the
things.
paywall.
The actual playing of the game, other than the fact that you have Cyborg, Human, and Zabrak, that sucks a lot. I never felt like they were real holding me back. This is a tepid approval of the Old Republic, a game that I think is not very good. Because the thing that appeals to me about that game is the BioWare charm. And there's not a lot of BioWare charm to be had.
Damn.
Because it's stretched over what's supposed to be a 250 fucking hour goddamn MMO, and that's not good. I can't do 100 hours with 4 fucking conversations. I'm sorry, I just can't fucking do it.
It's a bad movie.
It's a bad movie.
It's a bad franchise at this point.
I mean, that's partially our fault.
I like a bunch of it, but I fucking hate it here.
It's a bad franchise. I like a bunch of it.
Well, even while playing KOTOR right now, it's like I'll go through. I'm playing it because I found a tier list for every BioWare companion in any game that has been made by BioWare. I was like, I should probably play pretty much all the old stuff, like KOTOR and Baldur's Gate, and do that because it's a fun little thing to do on the side. But I'll play it and be happy with it for a while, and every once in a while I'll get to a strict, like, yeah, that's a very Jedi thing moment, and it's like, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm shutting off this game. Like, it's not enough to stop me, but once it gets very Star Warsy, I'm like, I'm out. I'm good. I'm good. I can't binge it like a regular BioWare game anymore right now.
Is the old Baldur's Gate games are BioWare?
Yeah. Yeah,
I have a couple of them. I haven't played them yet.
I would definitely recommend the new one that's made by, I think, Larian's making them now.
I remember seeing, like, when the cinematic first came out for the newer one, and it looked crazy. Like, that first cinematic trailer with the soldier turning into a mind flare. Like, that was fucking wild.
The new one's currently in early access.
It's been in early access for about 2.5 years. So I can't.
It's only been about a year.
It's been longer than you think.
Oh, yeah. October 6th, 2020.
Yeah. I can't recommend that game because we don't know what it's actually going to be. But it does have a lot of that BioWare goodness that I miss.
I mean, it's made by Larian, who made the Divinity series.
Yeah.
Which I can't recommend enough. So, I mean, I fully trust him with it. As long as it plays like Divinity Original Sin 2, but just set in the Forgotten Realms. Almost said Elder Scrolls. Jesus.
I thought you were about to say Elder Scrolls.
I'd piss off another nerd community.
Yeah. I mean, that's why if you go into the Knights of the Old Republic leveling system, it's literally just D&D with some things reskinned. Because they had gone from Baldur's Gate and they had gone from Neverwinter Nights, and they lost the. There was a whole thing that happened in the early 2000s with the D&D license, where they decided we're going to be the only ones that owns these things, and everybody else that we've licensed this to can fuck off. And it caused a lot of court cases, a lot, some of which weren't settled until the mid 2010s, which is why you see the push now.
Yeah.
It was really kind of like one of those. Every once in a while, a corporation gets enough of a foothold in a community where they start trying to copyright like ridiculous terms and shit.
But yeah, that's why KOTOR is literally just D&D 3.5, like Baldur's Gate, but not from a top-down perspective, because they got famous making D&D games.
D&D is one of those things that's really funny if you look back. Like, people love Wizards of the Coast so fucking much right now. That was not the case like 10 years ago.
Well, I mean, that's when, because the all those changes happened because Wizards of the Coast bought what was left of D&D because it was going out of business. It was getting its ass kicked so hard by everything else that was popular, like White Wolf and Vampire the Masquerade. The 90s were an interesting time, folks.
Well, and they were coming right off. That's like right when the Satanic Panic was like maybe just starting to die down, but they were just coming out of the Satanic Panic and shit.
I mean, it never went away, but that shit was like 80s to its core. Like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that was towards the coattails of the Satanic Panic, which, like Jay said, it never died.
Just like
TSR killed D&D. That's
just
what happened.
Just like fashion, everything comes back eventually. We're back in the Satanic Panic. It's kicked back up into full swing again recently. So,
speaking of Satanic Panic, Star Wars. I don't know, man. All right, so here's a thing that really pissed me off this watch that we've brought up several times, but just struck me as such fucking cowardice. So they kill off 3PO, right? We've talked about this. We've talked about how this is fucking dumb. I got mad at a different part of the movie because... So they kill off 3PO, and it's not only cowardice that they didn't keep it. It's cowardice to me that in order to bring it back, they played it off like a joke. It was a punchline. 3PO's death was a punchline. So one of two things happened. Either J.J. Abrams thought this was very funny, which is insulting, or J.J. Abrams and Disney, maybe Disney more so, said, no, we're not killing off 3PO, that's ridiculous, and mandated that scene be put in, which means that JJ's response to having to change the movie was to make the death that he had put all of this attention into a fake-out joke, rather than just switching around the script in order to...
So you're saying there's a non-zero chance that the whole C-3PO death thing was turned into a joke purely out of spite on J.J. Abrams' part because Disney was trying to strongman him.
It wasn't spite, I don't think. Because it's very possible it was a him decision, because it sounds like something he would do. But all I'm saying is, if you get a note and you can't control or fight back against that note, where that's like, you can't kill off this existing character, let's say you can't drive a moon into this existing character so that they die, your answer should not be, okay, we're going to keep it, but we're going to make it a fake-out death. Now, it's always possible this was a last-minute decision, so blah, 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 but it just pissed me off, this watch, where it was like, if you're going to do it, commit to it. You don't even have to keep him dead, but make that scene mean something.
Yeah.
Because you could have had a really heartfelt scene there. But instead, it's a joke. And that pissed me off. I had a lot of, like, this pisses me off moments this time, whereas usually it's just, like, annoyed melancholy.
Yeah, I don't... Nothing pisses me off, really, anymore with these movies. Like, I believe in order to get angry about something, there has to be a certain level of passion there. And I feel like the passion died a long time ago.
I don't have a I think it's come so far that it's turned back around. I have a passion for not wanting to watch these movies.
A passionate dislike.
I have a passionate dislike for the process of watching the movies. So I will come back around and be angry at a scene because I feel like it wasted my fucking time again for the 12th time in 2 years. That's when I get pissy. I get pissy when I feel like my time is wasted, or because of a random thing, like, let's say, a guy called the General or Princess. I see you, Ben. I see you. No, I get it. I've had the same thing happen. It was just the most recent example of a thing that we got pissed about. That
our nitpicks.
It wasn't even a nitpick.
Even nitpicks.
You were just like, this pissed me off, and I'm like, why? And you're like, I don't know.
Things that just unreasonably bother us for absolutely no good reason.
Well, it's weird because, like, it's left it in... The thing I come back to with this movie all the time is that it's left the franchise in a way where it was so bad and the reaction was so bad that nobody knows what the current state of the Star Wars universe is, because everything we're getting now takes place before these fucking movies.
Because Disney's kind of scared to delve into...
It's like, so we don't even know what... Because with the books, it's like, look, here, we got continuing stories and this and that. It's like, all right, yeah, we can get continuing stories, but it'll be with 100% new characters.
I don't believe that for a second.
Who would you see returning?
I mean, are you talking about, like, straight up movies? Like, they're not going to get the actors back? Because that's valid, but that's always...
No, and all of the characters were also left in a point where do we even see these characters? Rey seemingly doesn't... I doubt Rey is going to be doing much, you know? It's like, are we going to get another incarnation of the Empire? What are we going to get?
Oh, for sure. They have decided to take those characters and put them on the side until the fan base that were high schoolers and middle schoolers when those movies came out are adults, and they will re-advertise those characters in whatever format that they decide when those people are older, and it's a smart marketing decision. All I'm saying is I'm old enough to have lived through the anger that they were doubling down on the prequels with Clone Wars, and the anger that these movies were bad like the prequels were, but they just pretend like they didn't happen. And as far as I see it, it's a lose-lose situation. I would prefer they double and triple down, but there's no good answer. So what am I supposed to be mad at them for? Because they went back to the tried and true? No, man, like, what are you going to do? If they got to make Star Wars forever, like, I guess go back to the thing that nobody complains about.
That's what confuses me, though, and, like, what would we see moving forward? Because when they decided to wipe the books away, they wiped away a whole bunch of, like, different types of stories. You know, you got stories where you got them just putzing around on a planet somewhere, just dealing with, like, weird shit. There wasn't necessarily a new empire on the horizon. Like, when they cut all that shit, they made a new sequel trilogy that was just the Empire again, but faster. It's like, so is that what we're doomed to get forever? Like, if they do 10, 11, 12, is it a new fucking empire? Like, give me the weird stories. Give me Rey, Finn, and Poe finding weird force lemurs in the forest. What were those things? What the hell were those things in the book that, like, took away force powers? They were, like, weird.
I know
things.
They were kind of... Jesus Christ.
Sure.
Yeah. I guarantee if we tweeted that specific thing out, there would be about 17,000 retweets if it went viral that were just like, this is the thing that you want from Star Wars. I don't know, man. I don't know. I want
the Young Jedi Knights story where they were fucking around in the forest by the temple and they found a TIE fighter pilot who had crashed on the planet like a decade earlier and didn't know the war was over and shit, you know, like just weird fucking stories.
It's never gonna happen.
I don't want fucking Empire 3.
Here's the thing that we've got to kind of accept. The reason why we got those weird stories was because George didn't give a shit. He licensed things out to people with no plans, or people with such broad plans that it didn't matter what they wrote, and then didn't give a shit, and then said in public when he was asked about them, I don't consider them to be canon. So all that shit, it is the product of people not really caring what was being made, except the Yuuzhan Vong War, which was a very calculated decision to up the importance of Star Wars novels while he was creating the prequels. That's why those books had a plan. And the Legacy of the Force series, which was a deliberate attempt to capitalize on the Clone Wars TV series and that popularity, or what they perceived would be that popularity.
I don't know. Star Wars just makes me sad now. That's why I like The Mandalorian so much, and even the Book of Boba Fett, which I didn't particularly love. I mean, it was something that wasn't just we're rebels and we're fighting the Empire.
Yeah, it was kind of removed from...
Yeah.
I mean, we're also not giving it enough credit in that respect to a point, because there are projects here sprinkled here and there that are not that. Like, Book of Boba Fett is not that. Mandalorian's
I'm not talking about
that.
Star Wars in general. I'm talking about the mainline movies.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
the central...
Moving forward with the mainline movies, I can't even begin to guess what they're going to do when they eventually do these.
They're going to do one of two things. As far as I'm concerned, this is the inevitability that my brain has decided on. And it's not valid, it's not invalid, it's just what I assume. They are either going to reset the Empire and do it all again, with the old cast coming back, or what cast they can get, or instead, they're going to do the Yuuzhan Vong, because that's the big piece of media that they can steal shit from. Because as we know from the MCU, there are many people in the Disney company that are very in favor of buying franchises with a history and then stealing shit from it, regardless of how much they use.
It's so funny because, like, 10 years ago, if you told me they were going to do a trilogy that was the Yuuzhan Vong, I would have been super excited. Now, I got no interest in that story without any of the characters involved in that story.
I'm not saying I'm interested in it. I think...
No, I know. I just, it's depressing.
I don't know if they would go Yuuzhan Vong.
I
could see it. I'm not, like,
I mean, they're already
trying to dismiss
Thrawn. They're doing Thrawn.
Yeah.
Which would, you know, if you want to follow that logic, would lead that eventually.
I more mean, like, I don't see them doing that as, like, a movie.
Oh, they might not.
Like
They
that,
might not.
I could see that in a series because they're like Chris said, like they're delving into the old EU like bit by bit in the series format. But like as far as mainline movies, I have no idea. I
There's
can't even.
only, save for Din Djarin, who I kind of like, there are really only 2 Star Wars characters I give a fuck about at this point, and that's Ahsoka and Ezra Bridger. And nah, I like Cal. Cal's pretty cool.
If I had to pick 2, it'd probably be Ahsoka and like if we're talking protagonists, it would probably be Ahsoka and honestly, Bo-Katan. I love Bo-Katan.
I don't know that Bo-Katan's gonna be a protagonist much longer.
That's
I think
true.
we get to Mandalorian season 3, and Bo-Katan's the primary
Not too
antagonist.
friendly.
If we're talking about mainline canon characters, I think the ones that I'm the biggest fans of are Hormothsum and Hugans. I think those are my franchise characters that I think the franchise should be built around.
We need a series revolving around the life and times and career of Jack Porkins.
Oh yeah, you're right, Ben. We do need to talk more about Porkins.
I feel
In
I've
general,
walked into a
people
trap
need-
that I set for myself.
No, I'm just saying, like, we need to talk about Porkins.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why those words specifically are in my
Yeah.
head that are, we need to talk about Porkins. It's almost like a headline.
Probably see
Like a
that right
headline
here.
from headline.
Yeah. It's
Like, the words
know, I
in
wouldn't-
big bold letters, we need
I
to
don't
talk
know who
about
would-
Porkins.
I don't know who would write such
It's almost like there's
slanderous sounding language.
it's almost like there's a video out there that you could watch.
Almost
Video
like-
schmidio. Who listens to audio format anything these days?
The poor people who listen to this show.
Do we? Do you want to push
Broken.
this
We are
any further?
broken individuals.
You
Hello,
don't wanna
audience.
take
Hello.
us out back and put us out of our fucking misery? You sure?
Yeah, I don't know, man. It kind of feels like. So here,
I'm just wondering in the next like if they're doing mainline movies in the future, who fucking knows? I'm wondering what the new planet killing device is gonna be, because we have had 3 death orbs and a fleet of death ships.
The moon that killed Chewie.
It's gonna be oh god, what's the fucking? It's not a fandom I'm particularly a part of. The big fucking
40K.
He's doing a lot of like measuring, like
He's doing a lot of just arm movements.
is it
his head is downcast. You can barely
Transformers.
see his eyes.
the big planet Transformers.
Oh
thing.
my god. I know who you're talking about.
It's a planet, but it's a transformer.
I used to
Hasbro
have
just
the
made a-
actual toy.
Oh,
Hasbro
when I
just
was a
made a
kid.
HasLab for it that was way too expensive.
Sonoma Scott. Just use Sonoma Scott. Take EO.
Unicron.
Unicron.
Take EO. Or fuck, what's the name of the planet? The Marvel living planet.
Ego.
Fuck. Ego.
Ego the Living Planet.
Ego the Living Planet. Use Sonoma Scott for Ego the Living Planet and do it right. Which
Why
I don't know how you do that right.
God,
but-
we're sitting here making this joke. They literally already did a planet Death Star. That was the fucking
Yeah.
Death Star.
Starkiller
from
base.
Yeah, that was
I hope they never name anything Starkiller ever again.
It's
How many Star
so-
Killers have we had? We had the Apprentice Starkiller. We had Bendick Starkiller. We had Starkiller Base. We had. There's way more Starkillers. Ben, I want you to look up on Wikipedia just the word Starkiller and tell me all the results, and then
That's
we'll
really-
do
I'm actually currently looking for a list of Starkiller things.
I really like the first name Bendick, by the way.
Bendick, yeah. That's the
Bendick's
only-
pretty good.
When I'm playing a light side playthrough, it's the only dark side thing I'll do, which is do the death match on Terrace
Ben, can
against
we
Bendick
just
Starkiller.
can we get a petition going to change Ben's first name to Bendick?
Bendick Star.
You could still
I'm
be Ben.
good.
I quit
I'm
the
good.
podcast.
You can still be Ben for short. You just Bendik.
Oh, I dislike that.
And people who, you're like, oh, Ben. They're like, oh, is that, short for Benjamin? No, it's short for Bendik.
Because I guarantee if you just search on Wikipedia the word Starkiller, that'll give you a good answer.
There is a freighter used by a bounty hunter that was named Starkiller.
That makes sense.
Starkiller base system.
I mean, there's going to be multiple articles for Starkiller base.
There's also multiple articles just like for missions from the Force Unleashed series.
No fucking way.
A code name for an agent of the Republic
Stop
Strategic Information Service. What's up?
Stop the podcast.
Anakin Starkiller. Kane Starkiller.
Wait, hold on.
Deke
Who the fuck
Starkiller.
is Anakin Starkiller?
The son of Kane Starkiller.
What?
A Jedi.
Is this from the retelling of Star Wars story that they did, where they took the original notes from George Lucas's original script?
Probably, because it is non-canon.
And they made it a comic?
It is neither Legends or canon. It is non-canon.
The photo you just put in Discord. Well, yeah, that makes sense. It's been like that for a couple months because they tweeted it out that they were annoyed by it. The fact that breast is the most looked up thing on Wikipedia. And again, here's the soundbite.
You have done that yourself.
Incredible.
Fucking love it.
Ben, speaking of Wikipedia, is it looking particularly weird?
There's a Mon Calamari named Starkiller.
I'm just gonna.
Deke Starkiller.
I'm sorry, Chris. I'm like.
No, I'm just gonna keep gesturing to my segue that is here hanging in the air.
Offrin Starkiller.
I'm also on that article.
Oh,
there's so many pages.
There are. Okay, yeah, we need to get off this because it'll be the rest of the episode. But there's
God. Well, after a while, it goes into just like things that appear. Articles that have Starkiller within them.
If you click on the fucking article for Bendik Starkiller, his name is Gorst Bendik. Why? His alias is Bendik Starkiller.
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure you took the name Starkiller.
Who uses their last name as your first name in an alias?
You weren't thinking very, because in Kozar
it's like a few months ago when I got handed a fake ID that the person used their real name on.
I mean, to be fair, Obi-Wan straight up just changes his first name and hides from the Empire successfully for 19 years.
Yeah, but he has force powers. Good old Bendik Starkiller here is not only like he's fighting public death matches. He has literally a contract for his life out there. He's wearing his old Mandalorian armor from the Mandalorian Wars, and he's going by Bendik Starkiller. Like, this guy was asking for somebody to kill him. Also, he has the Bane origin story, apparently, where he was a miner turned Mandalorian. Which, it's Sith, but whatever. Ben.
Yeah, Wikipedia's looking a little weird.
What do you got on that weird Wikipedia?
I got something my brain immediately tried to mispronounce.
Well, you should do that out loud.
Well, I saw this, and my brain immediately wanted to say Hamlet.
Hamlet?
But it's Hamnet.
Hamnet. Is it a net use for ham?
He was a crime boss whose illegalities were sufficiently undercover that he was able to double as a respectable and wealthy businessman who enjoyed the trappings of success. The illegal activities were performed on his behalf by Wesson de Latmer, his personal bodyguard.
Isn't
the following section contains information from a Star Wars Legends source that was released outside of the Lucas licensing process, and its licensing status was never confirmed by Lucasfilm Ltd. I've never seen one of those warnings.
It also literally just says he was overweight, shrewd.
That's what I was just reading.
He was what?
He was overweight and shrewd, his only foible being his daughter Ecomia Hamnet, for whom he would do anything. Unlicensed information ends here.
Hack in Deville. Hack in Deville. So is he like in Legends currently alive? There's no like he was a crime boss.
Okay, no, we've done it again. You want to know what this guy's from?
Is it from a tabletop game?
Yes, it is.
That makes sense. Man, I need to play this tabletop game so that I can kill him and then do the To Die to Dream fucking monologue on his corpse.
My God.
Oh God, how do we keep getting fucking tabletop characters in Weird Wikipedia?
How do we keep getting fucking Shakespeare references? How do we keep getting fucking Exit Pursued by Bear references? Like, this is the second time we've gotten damn close to an Exit Pursued by Bear reference on Weird Wikipedia. Like, fucking Weird Wikipedia is cyclical. Like,
It's like poetry.
oh my God. This has been
damn it.
This has been Star Wars every week forever. You know, I don't think this is the first time that I've fucked off on a Weird Wikipedia on a episode after he made the poetry joke, and that is horrifying. Oh my
That's
God.
like poetry.
109 episodes of this shit. I love you two idiots. I hate Star Wars.
I hate Star Wars.
This has been Star Wars every week forever. Good night.
Love you, Jay.
I love you too, but Jesus Christ. Hey, if you enjoyed us, thought we were funny, like our content, or just really love our suffering and want to hear more of it, we're available all over the place and release episodes every Wednesday around 12 Eastern Standard Time. You can find us on Spotify, Amazon Music, TuneIn, Player FM, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, and in a unique format over on YouTube that our fans seem to dig. You can join in on the conversation over on Twitter as well, at SWEWF. We're quite active and love to hear from our fans. Sincerely, though, we appreciate you taking the time out of your day to spend with us on this car crash of a ride.